Hi. Has anything changed for you in these last 5 years? The masks here are the clue. Yep. All of my Facebook memories are popping up with all the different shifts, pivots, and changes that we experienced and are experiencing actually still for 5 years since 2020. I'm Kathy Weaver, and I feel that a lot of times in networking groups, people say, tell me about your 5 year plan. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? For some reason, five is such a biggie as far as entrepreneurship and growth and leadership and training and coaching. And a lot of times people have a 1, 3, 5 year plan. People have a 1, 3, 5 year program. People are in business 1, 3, or 5 years, perhaps. But the rest of the story for me is what has changed for us in these 5 years. Unfortunately, we all have experienced many friends and family members who have passed away, who have died. And we're not going to get into any politics stuff here as far as any of that controversy. But I think in terms of all the Facebook memories that are popping up and the terms that we used, that's a biggie for me too. People, of course, had a mask on all the time, and you had everywhere you went, you had to have a mask. Seriously, how many people still have a mask in their car? Okay. Like, do you still have a mask in your car? And I think in those kind of terms, and it's like, huh, do you carry it with you because maybe some places you go still want you to wear a mask? I don't know. What does that look like for you long term? And the purpose for me to carry it in my car is out of respect for the places I was going. So again, it's the mask conversation, social distancing. You had to make sure wherever we went in the world that we were 6 feet apart. Remember that? You'd go to the stores and the shelves were empty. Oh my gosh, like seriously empty, even at the very beginning. And for me, it was back to that same drill. What changed that the shelves were empty? And all of a sudden you couldn't well, think about it. You couldn't find hand sanitizer. You couldn't find Clorox bleach wipes, those things that people were cleaning with. You couldn't find toilet paper. Oh my gosh, toilet paper shortage all over the place. People were having toilet paper shipped in from bulk stores and locations. There were so many things that were new to us. Now, many companies thrived during this time, and they're still thriving. I, of course, think in terms of like with baseball season happening, depending upon when you're watching this video, we've had the start of the baseball season right now. We've gone from spring training to opening day to we're in the season. And I absolutely love baseball. Go Royals. But I think in terms of all the different changes that we've seen in these 5 years, and again, people always pick the five. What's your 5 year plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? All of those. What trips do you have planned in the next 5 years? And of course, one of my favorites is if you want to hear God laugh out loud, tell him your 5 year plan. Yeah. So, what changes have you noticed? People dress differently, people attend church differently. Some people attend certainly online, others in person. Think back even to your church. You walk into a church building, this big, fabulous, glorious sanctuary, and you've got 5 chairs over here and 3 chairs over here and 2 chairs over here. And the audiovisual person has a mask on. The pastor has a mask on while he's greeting everybody. And I looked at all those things and I was like, hmm. And so please consider that if you haven't already. Now, what about healthcare? You were able to do healthcare even online. Speaking of healthcare, right? Telemedicine. Let's think in terms of telemedicine. People were more comfortable speaking about mental health issues publicly than they had been before because so many people were experiencing fear, depression, anxiety-ridden things like that. Then, of course, and again, this is not political. It's not about how you feel about any of the COVID stuff, but long COVID, we've got people that still experience hair loss. We've got people that still experience hacking stuff still. Hygiene and public health. People all of a sudden became more aware of washing their hands. That was a puzzlement to me. Didn't you wash your hands before? Yeah, that was confusing. Then think in terms of jobs. Lots of jobs went away. Lots of brick and mortar places went away because nobody could go anywhere. Nobody did go anywhere. And even when things opened up again, I ain't going there. These big box stores, the big essential stores, might have been okay, but some of the small mom and pop shops disappeared. And think about the supply chains. Okay, the supply chains. All of a sudden, we can't get a part for your car for 3 months, 6 months, maybe you still don't have it. You can't even get a new car. You can't certainly, and nobody wanted to get rid of their car because you couldn't get a new one. And then, of course, one of my favorites that you guys are going to love is Zoom, because I record a lot of my videos from the Zoom platform because I love it, because you can change the backgrounds and you saw the mask filter. And I think in those kind of terms, and it's like, huh. So a lot of the differences that we've had, everything got delivered, every food got delivered. Did you ever have food delivered before COVID? Pizza delivery, maybe. Yeah, that's been around forever. But did you ever have like, I'm starving and you have a steak dinner delivered? That can be done. And I'm serious about that. And then, of course, our kiddos experienced online learning. And if you were blessed enough to have a kiddo with internet, with computer, with a desk in their room, close the door, mom and dad are working in the house too, that was one thing. And the challenges for the kiddos was big. And if they didn't have strong internet or certainly parental support, that was rough. Then we were pushed into hesitation on handshake, hesitation on hugging someone when you meet them, when you see them, hesitate at all about going to a networking event. You're now going to go to your chamber of commerce with 200 or 300 people. I'm not going there. Why not? I'm not going there. I'm building my business online now. Then you think in terms of the communities. Some people got creative and their communities got bigger. Other people went, we can't do this in person, so we're going to have to go online, and they got bigger. So then I think in terms of the faith reflection piece, people to their knees. And in my opinion, what drops people to their knees the quickest is something they have no control over. Now, for those of us who shall remain nameless, who might have a little bit of control issue, as I like to call it, I can control whether or not I'm going to drink this cup of coffee. And yes, it's a enormous cup because I love coffee. So I can control if I'm going to drink that coffee or not. But I kind of can't control if the electricity goes off and my coffee maker doesn't work. I can't control if I go to the store to get more coffee and they're out. There's things you can't control. I feel fantastic today, but tomorrow I have a health challenge. I do my very best to stay healthy, drink my water, all that stuff. But I kind of can't predict the future and see what it looks like 5 years from now. How many of our friends have gotten sick, sick, sick? Like I mentioned, I'm very sorry for those who have friends and family who have passed away. That still is just an ache in your gut. I know. But how many of our friends are sick now? We go from happy joy, joy, la-di-da, amazing to bad diagnosis. Now, again, it's not the political part of what caused it, it's the 5-year plan. And I just wanted to bring that up because of all the memories and stuff that are popping up on Facebook. How have we become more prepared if there's another issue? Sometimes I think in terms of we fix one problem and cause another, okay? As I mentioned, do you still have your mask? Is it in your car? In case you go somewhere and for some reason they still want you to put it on. You have a friend in the hospital and now all of a sudden everybody's masked up again because they have COVID. And I just, it's just a thinking process. And that's why when all these memories popped up on Facebook, I just wanted to know, what have you experienced in 5 years? Do you dress differently? Do you network differently? I certainly do. My network has grown so much. I'm grateful to Zoom and I'm certainly grateful to Alignable. That is a platform in North America that has almost 10 million members. I have not met them all yet, but I am working on it. Believe me, I am working on it. And so I'm grateful for the result, if you will, of some of the cool things that have happened for me. Everybody wants water now because they can't find bottled water on the shelves. Plus, the prices are nuts. So they come to me for my machines, which that has been a huge perk, and I'm grateful. So think in terms of the good things that happened in these past 5 years, the horrible things as far as travesty, death, illness, things like that. And then what are we going to look toward for the next 5? And I just wanted to bring that up. 5's awesome number. But the next time you say, what does the next 5 years look like for you, your family, your business? Let's think about these last 5 and see what we've learned from that.